Here's the deal. If you want a federal government job, you have to use USAJobs.gov. That's the website. 90% or more of people are getting their government jobs through that website. Can you get it off of the website? Yeah, you can, because there are some agencies like the post office or the Senate that have their own webpage. Then you have non-competitive hiring paths that can get a job that's not posted on USAJobs.gov. But for the rest of us, this is where we need to go. The big problem with this is USAJobs.gov is not the easiest website to wrap your head around. A lot of people, they get on there and they act like it's Google and they just type in, hey, what am I right now? I'm a budget guy, so I'm gonna type in budget and click search and see what comes up. And you scroll through hundreds or thousands of different jobs. And what you're doing is you're wasting a lot of time. You're wasting hours because you're not setting filters. Put the filters in. When you use the filters, you end up saving so much more time and you're less likely to get discouraged. At a minimum, enter your location or your zip code, your hiring paths, your job series that you're targeting, and your GS grade or the salary range. I still think you might not do it, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. Set and save your filters in USAJobs.gov. It's gonna improve how consistent that you're able to stay. If you're sitting there asking the question, I don't know what my GS grade is. I don't know what my salary expectation should be. You start with your current salary. That's what you need to maintain your lifestyle. Maybe you need more so you can increase it. What are you making? $80,000, $90,000, $100,000 a year? Look in your area, pull up the pay scale. It's by area. There's over 50 different pay charts. Look, maybe you're in Philadelphia, GS 11. What is that? 80, 90,000? What do you need? You need to set your salary based on what you need. But it could be hard if you don't know what job series you're targeting. What job series should you target? Look at the OPM Job Series Handbook, 2018 edition. Go through there, find your skills. Where do they match? What job series? Put your job series in there. Put your GS grade or salary figures in there. Save that filter. Then we have hiring path. If you don't know your hiring path, you probably should click open to the public. That one is available for anyone with a U.S. citizenship. If you're a veteran, disabled, Native American, Peace Corps, you can click those filters as well. Another thing that you can do is talk to somebody who's currently in the federal government and they could provide some assistance, maybe some guidance. All right, so you set up your filters. Good. When it comes to your resume, there are 3 areas in that job announcement you need to focus on. Number 1 is specialized experience. Number 2 is duties. Number 3 is the questionnaire. The specialized experience, it's below the qualification section, and it will tell you exactly the experience that you need in order to be considered qualified for that job. If you're not using the language that's in the job announcement, you're lowering your chances of being referred. If it states in there, they're looking for someone who has reviewed documents. Use the word reviewed. Do not use the word identified. Do not use the word I read documents. I looked over documents. No, use the verb. Use the verb reviewed because it's asking for review. If you put identify, someone sitting in an office somewhere is not going to be able to assume that you actually did the verb review. So input that same language within your resume. Not just that language, but craft your achievement around that language. Okay, next section is duties. The duties section is located at the top of the job announcement. It explains what a person in that position will be doing on a day-to-day basis. So if you're already demonstrating, hey, I'm doing the task. If the duty says this person is going to be evaluating and advising, you're already showing that you're doing it. I've already evaluated, I've already advised, I'm a fit. You plug me into that position, I have the necessary skills. It sends another signal, so you should do that as well. Then we have the questionnaire. This could be called a self-assessment, but it's pretty much the same thing. You have questions here trying to determine how qualified you are. This is your big chance to disqualify yourself. If you're marking down you're not proficient with a lot of these areas, you're not going to be referred to the hiring manager. So the big thing you need to watch out for with the questionnaire is sometimes it's not speaking the same language as the specialized experience and the duties. Specialized experience and duties are telling one story, and then you look over at the questionnaire, it's telling a whole nother story. Some job announcements will actually allow you to preview the questions by clicking on a link in the job announcement, like this one right here. Remember, once your resume is directly relevant to the job announcement, when you're answering those questions, you should be putting down that you're highly proficient, that you're an expert. If you do not feel comfortable marking down that you're an expert or you're highly proficient, then reconsider applying to that job announcement. Look for something else that better aligns with your experience. Next is you're referred. How this works is HR reviews your job application, looks at your resume, and makes a determination. Are you not qualified? Are you qualified? Are you well qualified? Or are you best qualified? A lot of people get down in this rabbit hole saying, I'm qualified, I've done this job. And I would say, yes, you are qualified. That doesn't mean that you're getting the interview, because maybe you're not best qualified. You have the skills and abilities and experience, and you're a good fit. But how can you make yourself best qualified? You do that by showcasing your experience and painting the whole story, adding the details. It takes you above the rest. Everyone on there is saying, I was responsible for reviewing documents. I was responsible for project management. Great. You were responsible for it. Give me more. I need more details. How did you save that organization money? How did you save that organization time? What did you do to increase efficiencies or the effectiveness of certain processes? What did you do? Why aren't you telling me this? If you would tell me, I could give you the right amount of credit for it, and we could get you from that qualified bucket over to that well-qualified bucket, or maybe even to the best qualified bucket. You want to live in that category? You want to live in best qualified? Give a reason on why you should. Don't just say you're responsible for stuff. Now, the amount of people that get referred, that can wildly fluctuate. You shouldn't even be worrying about that. But let's say 100 people apply, 20% get referred. What is that? What's 20%? 20 people, right? 20 people are referred. How many people are going to get interviewed? It could be, let's say, all of them, hypothetically, or it could be none of them. There is no obligation to interview anybody. I've been in situations where we had 10, 15 people, and the hiring manager decides, I'm not going to interview anybody. Or once they do the interviews, they're like, you know what? I don't like any of those people. I'm not going to select anybody. Repost the job announcement. Let's get a fresh batch of people. So that stuff happens. A referral is a positive indicator that things are going the right way, that your resume is decent. An interview is further evidence that you're doing the right thing. Your resume is strong. But if you get a referral and nothing happens, if you just get a mountain of referrals and the interviews never happen, focus on the resume. If you are completely new to the federal hiring process, these are the exact steps you should be taking. Number one, you need to set up your USAJobs.gov account. Number two, set your filters, save your filters. Number three, work on your resume and work on it some more. And number four is apply daily. You can save up to 5 federal resumes in USAJobs.gov. I would suggest having a resume for each job series that interests you, that you feel that you're eligible for. Maybe you want to have one resume for the 0200. That's the human resources, right? You have a resume targeting human resources. You have another resume targeting education, 1700. Maybe you have a 0500 targeting finance. So have resumes that speak to different job series. And when I say apply daily, I'm not talking about the same job. It could be, there's no 05s today, but I know I'm eligible for 0300, so I'm going to take my 0300 resume, I'm going to apply to 0300 positions. That's what I mean by apply daily. Ideally, 2, 3, 4 times a day if you have the time, if you want to be aggressive in getting a federal government job. That's what I would do. If you have more questions about the federal hiring process, about government jobs, about USAJobs.gov, I did a live stream recently, answered over a dozen questions. A lot of these questions, they could be on your mind. If you're interested in that, I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.